byTaalib. Assalamu alaikum.
After we give regard for God, we believe in Him, we put our trust in Him, we never break from that. Assalamu alaikum. I like to say that I like to start my talk with two things. One thing is how we view business, a sober mind towards business. Two is how we view the world and a sober mind towards that view. I heard the gentleman say, he said, Saudi is a slave to America. I've been to Saudi 100 times. I certainly don't share that view. I understand why he has that view, because we think, because we say, Assalamu alaikum, that we're supposed to be embraced, that we're supposed to be loved, that, but we don't understand that there's 1 billion Muslims in the world, and no one person can love 1 billion people. We just barely love the members of our families, let alone loving 1 billion people. And we also have to look at the responsibility and the circumstances of Muslims in other countries. One of the best things that I've had from my work is I've been able to have friendship in many parts of this world. And I'm going to stop there to start telling you a little bit about me. Prior to 1975, I was a busboy. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I thought that's all I could do. And in Oakland, California, Imam W.D. Muhammad came. And he said there's to be deserts. And Allah came upon that desert and made an oasis. He said, we're a desert people. We're not writing science. We're not doing math. He said, but Allah can come upon that desert and make an oasis. And all we have to do is get in the groove and go out and change our life for the better. And if someone tells us we cannot do it, tell them to go to hell. I took that literally, and I started to work. And when I started to first decide to export in the Arab world, it came about from a friend of mine. And if you would ask me at that time where was Saudi, I would tell you take a right on 116th, take a left, and you would find it. But anyway, we started. And I took a trip overseas, and for 2 years, I didn't sell anything. Just going back and forth, back and forth. But it's one thing I learned. I learned that African Americans are sadly mistaken if they think that the world sees you as worse as you see yourself. The world don't see you that bad. The world don't see you as downtrodden, rejected, despised, can't do nothing, don't know nothing. The world don't see you that way. And the world relationship to you is better than you can even imagine. You know, I knew a lot of non-Muslims who own large companies. And I used to say, why don't they tell me something about their company? I mean, why don't they teach me? Why don't Levy or why don't John just take me in his wings and teach me? Well, he ain't going to do it. He got his own sons, his own cousins, his neighbors, and his friends. He has those groups. But when I went to Saudi, and I met good people there, people who family own large businesses, we spend days and nights talking about trading, about price, about product, about culture. And I discovered something. Did you know that when you go to Saudi, as an African American, that your salary is higher, you have more value than people from Pakistan, people from Syria, people from India? You have a higher value in terms of salary. And that's the benefit for being an American. And these people who want us to reject America have gone crazy. They believe themselves that they cannot make it in America. So what they did is say, let's reject it. Saudis is no more slaves to America than Pakistan, than India, than Iran. But I understand it, because I understand how the Pakistanis are treated in Saudi. I understand how the Indians are treated in Saudi. But they must understand how they treat us here. I go into a Pakistani store here, or Indian store, or Lebanese store. They treat me like I'm a stranger in this country. Throwing my soda over there and pushing this over here. But I tell them nicely. I said, I have visited your country many times. We don't have a monopoly over poverty. Pakistan has poverty. India has poverty. Saudi has poverty. We don't have a monopoly over crime. They got jails in Pakistan and no African Americans are in them. Pakistanis is in them. They got jails in India. Indians are in them. They got jails in China. Chinese are in them. They got jails in England. English people are in them. We're not the worst people in the world. We're not just beat to death without help, without struggle. The law says when you at war and you struggling, you feeling pain, know that the other ones are feeling equal pain. You think all Caucasians in this country are rich? I got a couple of them that work for me. I know how much they make. They're poor. All of them ain't rich. You think all people are rich? They're not rich. The problem is we have to know what it is to be rich. And it ain't easy. We have to know what it is to be rich. And anyone tells me that we collectively should be rich, I tell them to look at what happened to the Soviet Union when they collectively try to do something. I prefer the American way, for the best and the fittest. When you're born, the doctor smacks your butt and says, take off. Go and do what you can do. And you find those who can serve you in your goals and work with them. But to say that collectively we have to have to combat this conspiracy. The biggest conspiracy is the conspiracy theory. I mean, after listening to this conspiracy, I feel like going there and start getting myself a 38 and blowing my brains out. So I ain't got a chance in the world. Malaysia, for example, the sister said the Chinese people control it. The Chinese people are busy people. They're busy people. In fact, my good customer is a Chinaman in Malaysia. I send him 3 or 4 containers every other month. The country is a fine country. I don't ask him if he's Chinese. I ask him, does he have green stamps, green dollars? We got the $30,000 for the container. He got it, it's shipped to him. The thing about it is we have to have a sober mind when it comes to business. We read in the paper, companies doing $10 million in business. We automatically assume this is a millionaire. At best, he's making a 1% profit after all his costs. That's $100,000. That's far from being a millionaire, but we say, Talib, I read in the paper, your company got $15 million in sales in the Arab world. You loaded. They tell you I sold $15 million. They didn't tell you I made a couple of mistakes and lost $50,000 here, $30,000 here, $10,000 here. Why? Because I didn't tell them that. Why I didn't tell them that? Because people like people that's winning. Now, I ain't gonna get on no public media and say, look here, I'm dumb as can be. I sold $15 million, I'm losing money. No? I mean, who's gonna say that? You put the best foot forth. That's what you do. Even Prophet Muhammad says, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. If you got a price, you don't have to tell somebody the cost of your price. They say, how much you pay for it? You say, this is for $10. They say, how much did it cost you? You don't have to say, well, it cost me $5. He ain't gonna give you $10 for it if it costs you $5. You say, look, it cost me $9.50. Please, let me get 50 cents. You know what I mean? This is business. This is very, very serious. The Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that the tajira, that the merchant who deals honorably on the day of judgment will be with the prophets themselves. And the prophet, that's high, brother. And believe me, most of us merchants ain't near that way. We the checks in the mail, I send it out, it's going to go out. You know, it's hard to deal honorably. It's hard. And to say that no Caucasian will invest with you. Kroger is a $22 billion company, the largest food company in America. And they've been selling in the Middle East for approximately 12 years. And I took the vice president there and showed him what I've accomplished there in 2 years with a new brand I had called First Choice, which dominates Saudi Arabia today. Praises be to Allah. After there 2 days, he said, Talib, I want you to take over the Kroger. Now, when I say take over the Kroger, here's what I'm saying. Kroger have agents there. Those agents spend with them approximately $4 to $5 million a year. All I had to do was just change papers. So that profit, they just dropped in my lap. And Kroger can't be racist. They didn't give it to a light-skinned brother. They gave it to one of the blackest brothers here. It can't be a race thing with them. I got Associated Groceries of Florida. I don't know who's from Florida here. They're the 14th largest wholesaler. The CEO paid me, and still do, about $9,000 a month to come down there 2 days out the month to run their export division, which they have sales $30–40 million a year. Those Cubans went crazy down there when I came walk through that door. Jose didn't want to talk to Huzu, and Huzu didn't want to talk to who. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to make of it. But do you think they did this because they were trying to help minorities? No. They did it because when my customers from Saudi come, from Kuwait, from Bahrain, they tell the CEO, we are with Talib. We buy from him or we don't buy. So they give me credibility. Why they give me credibility? Because they're my Muslim brother. But can I go over there saying to him, Alhamdulillah, Assalamu alaikum, brother, we Muslim brothers? No. It took time to know each other, to work together, to talk, to take trips together, just like we know each other here. There's a billion Muslims over there, and out of a billion, 99% of them is bagging in the world. We come from poor countries. That's like, yeah, how many of you will, in your office, you're in real estate, and you want to sell a house, and a guy comes in, he says, Assalamu alaikum, brother. Alhamdulillah, brother, let's make asa. You make asa and everything. He says, listen, I want to buy a house. You said, well, we got to check your credit report. Well, nah, brother, we just made asa together. No, I got to check your credit. I don't care if you made 100 rukus. I got to see whether you have credibility before I let you have this house. I mean, these are facts of business. So if you want to go to the world, the Middle East, and expect to get something other than what it costs you here, you're wrong. The same thing that makes it work here is the same thing that makes it work there. Good product, good packaging, good service, and terms. That's it. You can't go over and, I'm telling you, those Arabs in here, I got a straw hat here, brother. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Give me $190 for it. He said, hey, I said, a hat that coming from a communist China. He's selling his hat for $40. Now, am I supposed to, because you said some rukuts, pay you $185? No, he's not going to do that. Believe me, over nickels we haggle. And some of my competition are Jews and communists and perverts and everything else. But peanut butter is peanut butter. And the question is, can he buy it at a competitive price and resell it for a profit? We have to pay zakat. That's a poor tax. But Allah doesn't require us in our business dealings to give charity. Allah requires us to trade efficiently, because every time you give away money for nothing, you have robbed your family of their life. Every time you give somebody selling you something, a TV set, and you know you shouldn't give that brother no $200 for that TV set, but he's up there, alhamdulillah, got all that oil on him, smelling good and everything. You give him $200, and you know you can buy that TV set for $100. You have just taken $100 out of your pocket. I'm building a restaurant, so I met this Jewish guy, and I didn't know much about how to build it, so he was consulting me and everything and helping me. So we put it out to bid, and his price came in about $18,000 more. So he comes to the office all steamed up the other day. Talib, I thought I was with you and Muhammad Ali. My birthday's on the same day his is. This is on the same day. I said, Marty, you can talk all you want. If you think I'm going to give you $18,000, you crazy. Make your price $62,000. How can you make my price $62,000? My cost is $66,000. Well, Marty, goodbye. That's it. Because he think I'm going to take out my baby's face, mouse, $18,000 just because his birthday was on the same time Muhammad Ali was? I wouldn't give Muhammad Ali $18,000 if I didn't have to. This is business. We have to have a sober understanding of business. This is our key. We have to know how business is viewed. You see, the Caucasian and the Chinaman, they take business seriously. Business is serious. We take it. The first thing we say, well, I'm gonna get a business. I'm going to get some jobs for the minorities. We're going to build some apartment buildings, and we're going to clean it up, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. I mean, we really are going to make this community great. Well, it's a company for social reform. You get a business, you have to say, what is my profit in this business? Business is geared through profit, not through social reform. Not for employees. You want the least employees as possible. Why do you want every employee you got eating money out your pocket? Every week, Friday, they stand in line, waiting on their check. Then you want a whole bunch of them? All that money that you can have in your pocket, you just want employees, just to have them. Here's a guy that got a business, they making $300 a week. He got 2 girls setting up in there part-time. Both of them get $150 a week. There go his money. He gets a small store. He puts 2 people in that store. The Chinaman comes, he works that store himself. 18 hours, 16 hours, 12 hours. That store builds so much, he holds up a store right next door. And he puts someone in that store. And he builds it and builds it and builds it. Our problem is no one taught us the value of money and the value of commerce. The value of currency, like a current, this movement. No one taught us this. And this is the problem. My friend here is talking about gloves in Malaysia. That is his cost. Do he think the man bought the rubber factory just to keep him with a distributorship from buying gloves at $2.50 a case? The man bought the rubber factory because he wanted to control the rubber. Like the Japanese buy the coffee plantations down in the Caribbean because they want to control the coffee. Are they devils? If you all had the money, you'd be down there buying it too. Y'all set up with a quarter in your pocket, blaming people for winning. Muslims have money. Muslims ain't broke. Read some of the richest people in this world are Muslims. Muslims. But what did it do for me? Do I feel good because somebody got $40 billion? No, I only feel good if I got something. That makes me feel good. Not, oh, I know a Muslim. He got $40 billion, man. He rich, man. We rich. We ain't rich. He's rich. I can't even get the man on the telephone. And I know because I tried. And I know who he is too. I got him right there in my office. I contact him every so often. The other thing is export. We have to understand something. I believe if I had to do it over again, I would not do it the same way. I think that you should build a domestic business first before you engage in export. Export is very, very costly. You know, you have to understand. If you believe that I say this, that you have to do the same thing to your customer here as you have to do there, if you can agree with that, then you can see how costly it is. You have to phone your customer. How are you doing? How's the business going? How's your family doing? Now, if you calling him locally, it's a local call. You calling him in Saudi, it's an overseas call. So your calls for phones are greater. When you have to visit him, the hotel you stay at is like the house. Although the traders will never visit you at the hotel unless you become very good friends. And in the Arab world, it takes years before you even enter their homes. They engage in business. In fact, General Mills been exporting for 15 years. I'm giving y'all the names because some of y'all may want to call. He have never entered a Saudi house until he came with me. He's a Caucasian. 15 years he represents General Mills. He have never entered a Saudi's house until he came with me. So the Muslims are very careful who they bring into their homes. So your hotel is like where you live. So you travel, they say, travel cheap, go coach, anywhere. But when you arrive, you have to stay at the best hotels. What are you talking about, $200 a day? You there for $200 a day, it don't take long. Because you got to be selling something at $200 a day. I was over at one time when broke out. They asked for Western Union to come over there. I was so scared, I thought they were going to chop my head off. I stayed an extra 5 days waiting on the money to come. so it's not easy. So to say that I'm just going to export, you have to understand where your circumstances. See, I started at 20. No wife, no children. 2 years without eating wasn't that bad. Peanut butter sandwich here, going by visiting a friend here, eating a little bit here. Trying to keep my shoes shine, but the bottom had holes in them. And, trying to make it happen. But if you're a married man and you say that I want to export, I mean, it can take some time. But I tell you this. If there is any conspiracy, that conspiracy is to keep the American Muslims away from the Muslim marketplace. Because they know what I know, that relationships will be forged not only based on money, but based on taqwa. And that taqwa will be greater than anything they can hopefully achieve. And that is why Kroger hired me to take care of their work, AG to take care of their work, because I have them convinced that they don't like them over there, but they like me. You think I'm joking? I got them convinced of that. I got the CEO down there in Florida so convinced that he even tell other people, oh, they don't like us over in Saudi Arabia. They like him. Right? Where did I get that from? The Arabs did it to the Europeans all the time. They convinced the Europeans that they wouldn't like those Africans. So let them broker the spices. That they wouldn't like them. So Europeans, they said, okay, we have to deal with the Arabs. And one of those crazy nuts over in Europe got lost and ended up on the coast of one of those African countries and said, hey, they like us over here just fine. Now they went to Arabs market. The Arabs market was gone. And this is what happened to me soon enough. But the thing about it is that when my customers come to visit the office and the warehouse, I tell them. So when they get there and they talk to Cal, they say, you know one thing? We only do business with Talib. Right? So now we confirm what I said. Now he really convinced. Now you would think he'd say, how can Talib sell $15 million a year or $10 million a year and I'm selling $30, $40 million? Somebody like me more than like Talib. My number shows it. But I convinced them of that. I even took Crow over. He had a tape recorder too. And over here the prices of peanut butter is this. You know how the corporate is and taking notes and everything. So, but we go to the hotel and all those people know me. As soon as I walk in, Talib, alhamdulillah, why are you here? This is a doorman for God's sake. But he says, oh Lord, the country loves him. Oh man, this is a doorman. So I give the doorman some tips once in a while. Now I go in there, I'm the greatest thing that ever happened. The whole Arab world love me. The whole Arab world don't love me. I take them to various offices that I know that people very well. I go there. Who is this? Talib. Ali comes out. Talib! So he comes back in his report. I should have bought it. They love Talib Rashada over there. That's only 4 or 5 people, for God's sake. I could have took him another block, and they told me, get up, move here, Muffin Majula, get away from here, Negro. You see? So the point I'm trying to make is that I would love to see, you know, this guy named Lee, he told me at the trade show, he said, you're the only African-American selling over here. So I said, Lee, you the only Korean-American selling over here. Oh no, we got some in the construction business. So I said, okay, Lee, now you're a wise guy, aren't you? I said, you've been selling my customer popcorn, about 25 containers a year. And I'll let you sell him at popcorn. Oh, Dr. Humney, he loves me. I've been selling to him for years. He's not going to buy from you. Wallahi Azim. He told me that in Anuga, in Europe. I left the trade show. I went to I called Dr. Humney, said, Dr. Humney, now I'm selling popcorn. He says, okay, Lee is finished. Lee calls him up. Dr. Humney says, what can I do? I have a contract with First Choice. Any product they're selling, I have to buy. Lee mad as can be at me. He runs to Kroger, because Kroger packs some of his brand for him, too. He tells Kroger, I'm going into mango juice. Don't tell Talib. Now, even Lee, it becomes my converted. He think I'm bigger than God now. I warned him, and then I popped him real quick. Like the prophet says, hit your enemies that's closer to you so hard that those from afar fear you. Every time I go on the trade show now, they look at it like, hold on, what is he going to steal from me? Yeah. He thinks I'm bigger than God now. I mean, he really thinks that if I go to him right now, I said, Lee, you selling black-eyed peas. Now I'm going to take your customer. He'll believe me. Why? Because the Muslim weed, not because I'm special, not because I'm smart. Believe me, if I was smart, I would have had a job at IBM somewhere 20 years ago. I went into this business because I had no education. And no one else would give me a job that I wanted to give me a little dignity, a little pride. Believe me, right now, if I could be the vice president of IBM for a few $100,000 a year, it's better being an entrepreneur losing money. See, we have to understand that. If we can't make 2 or 3 times our earnings, why be in business? Just to say it? Business is serious. You not only risk your income, you risk your property, your house, your family stability. It's very, very serious. But I hope for the day, and I'm going to stop now, I hope for the day that when I travel the Arab world, inshallah, that I'm going to meet each and one of you all, traveling with your briefcases and your samples and that. Assalamu alaikum, brother. I just came back from Kuwait. I was in Bahrain. Where you going now? I'm going to Egypt. I look for that day. But know this. The world have not produced a verdict on us. They haven't convicted us of anything. So we are the pioneers in the world. And how we behave, and how we treat people, and how we deal fairly in our business will be very essential to how our children is viewed when they begin to travel and to see commerce. We have right now an opportunity for people to say the American Muslims are the best international traders in the world. Why? Because we're fresh, we're beginning. Not what our grandfathers did, not what who did, not the KKK, not the big conspiracy. We have a chance ourselves to move out into the world and trade and build a name for ourselves that will give our children, will be welcome and will be known to be great traders. We have that power. And I want to say one more thing. Imam W.D. Muhammad have freed us. That makes this day a great day for us. We cannot do business with Kroger and other companies believing they're the blue-eyed devils and that we created by Yaqub, the big-head scientist. And then it really went crazy now. The Quran was written by 24 black men. But we can't interact. I can't go to Saudi and tell them, listen, I'm a black god, but please buy 1 container of peanut butter from me. But I'm a black god, the owner, the maker. Astaghfirullah. God forgive me. You see, we can't forge relationships. So Imam W.D. Muhammad had freed us. I want to make this one point, and this is a very important point. Anyone that says that Imam W.D. Muhammad is not a business imam is either a liar or retarded. Because you want somebody to tell you how to buy 80 stockings and go out and sell them and make a profit. The imam tells you how to be a better human being. And in being that human being, people come to you. Relationships are forged and businesses are built. That's how they build. And we still have this conspiracy as the white man is looking at us to do harm. The white man is sick and tired of us being poor. He said, you know what I did? I created this Negro. Now if I can just undo a little bit of it, I'm happy. This Negro, he wasn't supposed to be laying dead here for 400 years. I mean, I want this Negro up doing something. I'm tired of paying for him. I'm telling you, there's no conspiracy. The only conspiracy is to get you niggas working. Assalamu alaikum. Let me tell you something.
There's a process.
Omar said of those who came who was well educated, he used to feed them himself to show his high regard for the educated. And I too take my head off for those people who are educated. But in the Commerce Department of Export, the Commerce Department is nothing. They don't have no idea what goes on. And I'll tell you why. Because I give seminars myself for the Commerce Department. And I know they have no idea. For example, I told you about freight. What I didn't tell you is I blocked my freight. She couldn't tell you. The Commerce Department can't tell you. I had one guy. He don't buy from me. It's 10 of us, 10 traders. He blocks all of our freight. No one can move freight to the Middle East cheaper than me. You call Merck's, you call Coast Ocean, you call Sealand. No one can move freight cheaper than the 10 of us. Because the 10 of us combined move 2,000 containers a year. And no one can move freight. Now that you won't find at the Commerce Department. Not only that, the Commerce Department can tell you something, but it can't tell you trade. It can't tell you who to trust. I got a good friend of mine. He was just here, Darwish from Saudi. We had a good time. He's a good friend of mine. I wouldn't sell him nothing. Right? I mean, he's a good Muslim brother. He prays all the time. He got me with dry lemon from Guatemala to him. Didn't pay me for 6 months. He got me a year. He says to me, "Oh, Talib, please quote me on dry lemon." I said, "Darwish, forget it." We pray together. I like to keep him for my enemies, my competitors. I want to give him them because I know him. He don't pay. I mean, he's a good brother. You go to him, he take you to his house, you eat at his house. He's a good brother. He just spent time with me. He just brought his wife in and his 2 children. Wonderful guy. I mean, he's my friend. I'm going to show you what kind of friendship I got. I had a stroke. And wallahi azim, they were calls from Saudi Arabia to the hospital. Whatever it costs, I pay it. Please send us the calls for Talib's medical. I pay it. Darwish was one. I asked him one time, I said, I want to support Imam W.D. Muhammad. $5,000 he sent me. He had me for no receipt. But I wouldn't sell Darwish nothing. Because he don't pay. The Commerce Department ain't gonna tell you that. They're gonna say, yeah, it's a good company, it's a $50 million company, he buys foodstuffs, he buys this, and then you go there with your last dollar and ship over that black eyed peas, and Darwish hangs you out to dry. Boy, you say, oh my God, you can go there with all the Allah Akbar you want. He ain't gonna pay. He'll say, brother, please, brother, I don't have now. Please give me some time. You say, Darwish, please, I need my money. Oh, Talib, please, give me some time. He ain't gonna pay. Hey, he came here, I took him to California, to Ohio, to Chicago. We just flew everywhere together. Then I sent him goods. Sent him some black-eyed peas, number 1. 3 containers. He didn't want to pay me. Something wrong with the pea now. Wasn't large enough, too small. I gave him a discount. I let that go. I sent him some dry lemon. He called me later. He says, Talib. I said, Darwish, I don't sell to you no more. You my brother, I don't sell to you. He says, oh, you make a lot of money with me. He didn't believe how much he done killed me until I showed him ledger. I was working for Darwish. Selling it to him for $40,000. He ended up paying me $30,000. I eat the 10. It's a very serious business, brother. It's very serious. And the Commerce Department would tell you, I think they tell you, they say LCs, and they give you a book and they tell you about the draft LC and the site LC. If you want to be a trader, you have to get up and go.
See, that's what I mean.
Where the market is.
I wanted to find out about like the LC. Trading is, I know I have to learn it.
Right.
I've lost money in my business, and I know who I can sell and who I get credit and who's got to be COD. I understand it, but I was asking, I think you call it process, because I would, when you say this, all right, I want to get something from here to here, there's got to be steps of people you have to go talk.
Well, then you got to go to people like her, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want the steps and steps.
Yeah.
I don't give steps and steps. I trade. I sell peanut butter. You want to buy peanut butter, you come to me. You want to go to school, you go to see the sister.
I want latex gloves.
Yeah. You know, the other thing that I wanted to say about that is that, you know, even though, you know, I agree with him in terms of the Commerce Department because they call us sometimes to get information on who we know. And ask us, as a matter of fact, the National Franchising Association has just asked us to do some things for them as well in terms of international marketing research. But the key thing is that it's like going to Howard. Any student who's ever been here will tell you that they send you something, they tell you this is how you get into Howard, these are things you need to have and everything. But when you get here and try to get in school, that's a whole different matter. You got to really just go through this and that, and kids get frustrated, the parents get mad, come up here and cuss everybody out. There's always security in the bursar's office because somebody beats her up every year. But the thing about it is, and this is what I tell them all the time, even at the Department of Commerce, there are people there who are knowledgeable about the industries because they're being sent to those countries. They are being, you know, this country, they are paying to send people into those countries to do the research, to know what's really going on, and those people keep that information for certain people. And if you begin to work with the Department of Commerce and you create a relationship with some of those people, you will get some of this information that is only privy to those people who are actually in the mix, who are actually doing the business. And if you create some real serious relationships in there, they will also give you names like Brother Talib to make contact with if you want the real deal.
Okay, got one more question here, right, brother? We closing out. You have something to say?
Just one thing. What has been your experience? Have you dealt with the embassy people here in Washington from foreign countries? Have you had any experience with them?
Only for visas.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not the people to do business with?
No.
No, you know, the other thing is that Muslims always try to go to countries and do business with religious people. You have to do business with business people.
Yes.
You can't go over there and do business with people with religious because what their job is to do dawah. And we need that too. Allah says, enter ye by different gates. So when you want to do business, you have to do business with business people. The embassy peoples are workers. I mean, they have jobs. They work. They can't afford one container if the life depended on it. You know, so.
And even when you get in country, the only thing an embassy can do for you, or the United States Embassy can actually facilitate for you, is if you lose your ticket or your passport. That's the only thing that they can actually.
If you lose your passport, they can help you.
Yeah.
If you lose your ticket, you got to get back the best way you can. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. We're going to do we're going to conclude the program for the day with the dinner back over at the hotel site in the Georgia Cafe we met yesterday at 6:30. And the guest speaker for the night is going to be Dr. Suleiman Niang, a professor at Howard University and an excellent lecturer. And we'll look forward to some additional insight from him today at 6:30. Now also, we have lectures. The lectures for the workshops today should be available to us. I think we've got 2 sets available right now, and the rest will be available. We only have 4 copies, though, of each one of the workshops right now. We can't take orders for future ones down the road. The lectures on the table here are those lectures we had from last year's conference, which include legal forms of business, grants to nonprofit organizations, Islamic Venture Capital Fund, establishing a Muslim Business Association, Muslim Business Development, international business opportunities, public relations and advertising, developing your business from street vending to storefronts, Quranic business obligations, and youth